What's up, everybody? It's Brandon, and I'm here with Tyler, and we are back with another knee-jerk reaction review. We just watched Malignant. Now, is it bad? It's pretty bad, isn't it? Or is it downright ignorant, as the kids say? I mean, is it good or bad, Tyler? Did you like this movie? I know Rodney saw this too, but he's not allowed to.
Yeah, it was pretty unbelievable to me.
Mm-hmm.
And usually me and Brandon, we like disagree on, like, he'll love a movie and I'm like, I don't like it at all. Or I'll love a movie and he's like, it's not that good. Dude, that just like fogged. But this one, I think me and Brandon are on the same page with this one. This movie was unbelievable.
Yeah, I hated it. So once again, here we go.
Yep,
no, I'm just playing. It's not a bad one. It's straight up ignorant. It's ignorant. Malignant is ignorant, people.
I mean,
Like
you said,
damn.
I think everyone, we needed a good horror movie.
So much so. Coming off of Candyman 2, that broke my heart. This is one I had on my radar, but wasn't even in my top 10 of the movies of the year I needed to see. But I was like super stoked about it still because the trailers then came out, and I'm like, yeah, this looks paranormal, but it looks like he's also doing a little something different with it. And the more, like, you know, the early reviews came out, people seeing screenings and stuff, and the more I paid attention to the trailers, I watched it a few times, it did look like there was something else there, and they had kind of confirmed my beliefs in saying there's kind of like a giallo element, which is fucking huge to me because I love old school giallo flicks like that.
Yeah.
So that it's not like overdone here, but again, it's like little pieces of each genre. You definitely do get elements of that and vibes of that. And then you got the slasher genre that was definitely prominent here, and you even get like a little bit of like, this almost feels like straight up action borderline.
It had it all in it.
Yeah, and
except
then
comedy.
Yeah, and you still got the paranormal-esque moments too, where it kind of felt like that as well. And this movie just balanced all those so perfectly, all while also making its own imprint and making it, you know, seem just wholly original. And I honestly had a ton of fun with this movie. If there's one negative I could say, which isn't even a negative, it's I think all the characters and the relationships, they weren't bad. They were just like, they were good. They weren't like, you know, Hereditary great, where it's like, oh my God, I am in love with all these characters. But they were good enough. And everything else, literally everything else, down to like the killer, whether that's like some creepy ghost or some slasher villain or the new Giallo King straight from Italy. You know,
yeah, it's
like
something that
Italian. They just kill it.
I've
like,
never really
everywhere.
seen before.
Yeah.
Like we were talking while we were watching the soundtrack to this movie. In a horror movie.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like scary music, but the music just fit perfectly with...
It worked.
I love that. Like that one song that we were talking about. And that,
oh, yeah, there's a track in here that's kind of like a cover of it, but it's like a cover of it in the way that it's like an instrumental of it done a different way. And you could tell exactly what it is. So that's cool, and it kind of ties into the ending a bit, I might say. Won't say how, but, I mean, if you really kind of think this one out a little bit, you might be able to put this together. And that's not a spoiler because the ending comes out of nowhere. So other than that, speaking on said ending, spoiler territory here, guys.
Spoiler alert.
I can't not talk about the spoiler because it was insane. Normally on newer movies, even if there's a big twist, I like to wait every once in a while. I have to talk about it. So get the fuck out of here. Please get the fuck out of here because you don't need to hear this. Basically, your whole time you're wondering, is it Madison? Or as we find out, her name's actually Emily, or at least that's what the killer is calling her. And you're like, you know there's a twist coming. You got a feeling, what's it going to be? Could it really be Emily the whole time? Or Madison, whatever you want to call her in the movie, because she's got like the two names or whatever.
Yeah.
And you wonder, like, yeah, I mean, that definitely could be it. But then you're hearing, like, from early reviews, like, not having it spoiled, but you're hearing people say, like, wow, like, this is, like, a memorable twist. Whether you like it or not, you will remember it. So you're like, it can't be that bare bones. But turns out it actually was her. Kind of. The way this killer moved around, he would, like, contort and mainly work backwards.
Would you want to say why? Like, okay, she had a paternal twin stuck to her.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
I was describing, like, the killer in general, and I'm like, that's because this was stuck on the back of her the whole time. She had a conjoined twin
Yeah.
on behind her. They
That was
pulled up a
evil.
video, and this thing was like moving around like this, and you're like, holy shit, dude. They share the same brain. It was her fucking brother the whole time, and he takes over her brain and goes into these moments and basically relegates her as just like she's basically limp. And the reason why he was all backwards and all that is because that was now Gabriel or whatever. I think it was his name.
Gabe, yeah.
Yeah,
Gabriel.
and he was moving backwards because it was her moving backwards as him, and you didn't see it because her hair was covering up. And then there's also
It was so
some
legit.
sick shit. It was just wild, man. It was
The
like,
way he moved and could, like, there's that one scene where he jumps out the window and goes down like 8 stories
yeah, he's just
and
like
stuff.
catching and shit. Now, like there's a lot of things here. Like this is a very believable, but this is like everything's so good. You got to turn your brain off here because it's unique and it's fun. Do not nitpick at this. This is a fucking amazing fucking movie to me. You've got to fucking see it. If you haven't seen it for some reason, you're still around, you don't mind spoilers. If that didn't sell you on it, just fucking watch it.
If you're on the
dude.
fence about
Go.
it, watch it. It's an hour 51 minutes. The pacing is unbelievable. The pacing is great the whole
HBO
time.
Max too, easy. Still an account.
There are some scary scenes, and it doesn't go over the top with jump scares and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's well done scares. Like that's what I was kind of talking about with Tyler during the movie. I was like, they're nailing this. It's not the scare you think it's gonna happen. They like build you up, build you up, and you're like, okay, I'm ready for that release. It's gonna happen here, and then it's like, shit, it didn't happen. Am I okay? Are we okay? Is the movie okay? What's going? Oh no! There's a scare.
Yeah.
It sneaks up on you. Very good. Like it literally feels like layers. It felt very paranormal at first, and then it felt very slashery, and then by the end with like a little giallo mixed into like those moments with like the lighting, the bright reds. Of course the detective, classic giallo shit, and then the ending was almost action-ish with the twist. I mean, it's something else, man.
Yeah, and the kills were
adored this movie. Kills
violent. The kills were dope, and they were violent.
Yes.
So this is a great movie. Do we give ratings?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 8.3, and that's pretty good for me.
Yeah,
like
that's really
usually I stick around the 7s, but this movie, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Definitely gonna get it when it comes out on a physical copy. I give it an 8.3. It's just very enjoyable, which I was kind of expecting it with all the hype, and it lived up to it. So 8.3.
100%. I will give this movie a 9.5.
That
Yes.
dude.
Yes.
I joked when we were watching. It's like, dude, this is a 9.7 for me.
Dude, it blew my mind. I'm still
9.5,
thinking
wow.
about it. It just had everything that I wanted it to do, and I was going in thinking like this could be great or like a 9 worthy if they do it right. They didn't just do it right; they did everything like perfect.
It
I
was
like,
great.
Oh man, wow! Around every fucking corner, I'm ecstatic about this movie. This movie blew my fucking mind. Of course, this is knee-jerk reactions, so the rating can fluctuate a little bit. This isn't concrete like movies that are in my top 50. I gotta watch it again. But right fucking now, dude, I'm sitting here like this movie was almost perfect to me. The only thing that wasn't perfect about it was, again, the characters were just good. If that would have been perfect with everything else, then it would have just been like, I don't know how I can't give this a perfect movie. I won't, because I'm about to just throw out a 10 out of 10 here because there's no way, right? Only so many of those in the world. But I mean, this movie really jarred me. It did. I fucking adore this movie off of my first watch. Very, very shocked by it.
Well,
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, 8.3 and a 9.5. Like, go watch this movie.
Dude. Yeah. And also, I geeked out, too, because of the slasher aspect.
Yeah, I love that. I
I'm
didn't want it
waiting
to
for
be.
something like that.
I didn't want it to be like a paranormal ghost type movie, and it wasn't. It was something. It was dope. It was a dope movie.
No doubt. Well, that's it, fellas and gals. Go ahead and click that button for me,
All right.
Tyler. since you're in
Gotcha,
the
bro.
driver's seat.